All right, guys. So when I did my last three-way crossover, it was part of a poll, and it won by one vote. But I told you I had an idea for the other one. The first being you saw it yesterday, Bob's Burgers, Invader Zim, and Hocus Pocus. But there was another one I was actually just about to do when, quite literally, what happened was someone did a tiebreaker. So we're going to talk about the runner-up, which again I had the idea for and was ready to go right before everything changed. So here we are with Danganronpa, Black Lagoon, and Hitman. So let's get into it. So the story begins in a facility owned by Hotel Moscow, deep within Russia, and it falls under attack by an unknown group of gunmen and led by a young woman. And it turns out it's Fenrir. Fenrir basically just comes in, wipes out the members of Hotel Moscow in the area, and in walks Junko Enoshima with her sister Mukuro. And Junko is like, I do love a good shootout. A lot of blood, a lot of guts, a lot of despair. You think these people had families? I hope they do. It'd be fun to like just go to the funerals. I swear to God, it gets me off more than porn. And Mukuro's just like, mm-hmm. And she's like, so what did we come here for? Why did we attack a bunch of ex-Russian Spetsnaz facility? Like, what do we have to gain from this? And Junko's like, oh, Mukuro. You sweet, stupid, fucking idiot of a smelly sister. Why else would we do anything for despair? And that's when Junko reveals of what they were looking for, and it's several ballistic missiles. And she's just like, tell your boys at Fenrir to start loading them up. We've got so much work to do. So, obviously, word travels fast. And what happens is that, word travels fast, and all of Hotel Moscow is just, like, in shock because they just lost several Soviet-era ballistic missiles, and no one can find them. Like no one knows where they are. They don't all they know is that a group of highly trained military soldiers came in, wiped them out, and they're thinking it could be anybody. It could be the Americans, could be the British, it could be fucking Santa Claus for all they know. So obviously word has broken out, and it's gotten all the way to Roanapur, where Bella Laika has heard the news, and she's just like, shit, that's not gonna look good. And her right-hand man is just like, Captain, how many missiles were stolen in that facility? And she goes, at least 12. 12 ballistic missiles, and if I'm right, 6 of those 12 were carrying nuclear weapons, or at least outfitted for nuclear weapons. So I don't care that someone took them. I just wish someone had money, took money for them, and we're probably going to take the fall for this once word gets to the Kremlin. So she's like, we got to deal with this now. If we can but first we need to figure out who did this. And that's when, word then comes in, like information from someone comes in as like, Captain, you're going to want to see this. And footage has come out from Hotel Moscow saying, hey, that place did have cameras, and instead of taking them out, we finally have like a camera feed of what happened that night. And that's when they all see Junko, and she's just like, she wanted to be seen by Hotel Moscow. And of course, and she's like, and Bella Laika's like, oh, that person. The rest of Hotel Moscow is like, Captain, do you know this person? She goes, I've heard rumors about her. She calls herself the ultimate despair, and she doesn't kill for power or money or anything. She just kills for the love of sadness and chaos and carnage. And her sister is a highly trained soldier, which I think is that person right next to her. Those are Fenrir, and she was a member of it. They're a group of highly trained mercenary group who work for the highest bidder. And I guess Junko pulled some strings because her sister's in the army and they've got these missiles. And they're like, so what does she want with the missiles? Like, what would she actually want with these missiles? Like, is she going to sell them off or something? She's like, no, from what I've heard about her, she's probably just going to detonate them somewhere just for shits and giggles. this is like what we're dealing with is a monster. So, and she's like, well, at least we'll unite with the other bosses across Hotel Moscow and, try to work with the Kremlin and all that and tell them, hey, we lost your missiles, but we'll get them back and all that. And that's when, when shit goes really sideways because they're like, hey, change the channel. Like one guy comes in and is like, you guys got to change the local news networks. And it turns out Junko basically is on live TV basically going, sup bitches. So I have a little surprise for all of you. Some wonderful Amazon direct to your doorstep despair missiles. And she's literally painted the ballistic missiles to look like black and white with also Monokuma's face on them. And she goes, I've got 12 of these, and guess what? 6 of them have fucking nukes in them. So here's what's going to happen. But who's going to get the nukes and who's just going to get the regular ballistic missiles? I don't know. I'm feeling like it'll just be a random active thing. So here we go. I'm just going to start firing them into whatever city I want. And you guys can just run and hide. Where will I go? Who knows? So, oh, and by the way, if you're wondering who had these missiles first, good old Hotel Moscow, the Russian mafia, had these in layaway, and they were going to be selling them off to one of you out there, lucky country, warmongering countries out there. I just figured I'd send it, day one packaging and shipping. So, toodles, and proceeds to hang up. So now the whole world knows Junko Enoshima has 12 fucking missiles at her disposal, and she's gearing up to use them. Meanwhile, on the other side of the world, the U.S. government is like, well, fuck, we can't deal, like, what the fuck? Like, we gotta take her out. Like, but Junko also puts out information that, like, Fenrir did work for the U.S. and also other groups, and also she puts out a list of who the missiles were going to be sold to: the U.S., the U.K., and it's all like she also puts in the information of who these missiles were actually meant for, whether it be Russia or Iran or whatever. She's basically first she's going to shoot these missiles, and then they are going to basically cause World War III, just for the lulls. So the U.S. government's just kind of well, what the fuck do we do? And that's when someone goes, we can't find her. We don't know where she is. And they're like, okay, do we have someone who can? And they're like, well, we do know one person who could probably track her down and kill her, but we're going to have to pay them a lot of money to do so. So who they hire is Agent 47. So Agent 47's finally in play. The U.S. government literally says, we will give you as many zeros on the check as need be. We will even bankrupt 3 states if we have to pay you to kill this bitch and stop those missiles. And 47's just like, can do. So now, but meanwhile, back in Roanapur, Bella Laika has assembled all of Hotel, she's basically made a meeting with the other bosses across the world, and she's just like, this is going to come back and bite us in the ass, so we need to handle the situation now before it becomes a giant clusterfuck. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to take my comrades and I are going to go hunting for her because we believe we know where she is. We're going to kill her and all of Fenrir, and then come back and disarm the missiles and tell the U.S. government and all the other governments of the world, hey, we did it. You don't need to bother us. So that's the rest of the other bosses are like, is that going to work? And she's like, I have no fucking other clue to do right now. So Bella Laika and the rest of Hotel Moscow literally arm themselves for war and head out to find and kill Junko, which they do believe they know where she is. She's somewhere. She is somewhere where she would she'd have to have somewhere where she could theoretically fire these missiles, and also somewhere where she'd have to be in close proximity to the target she'd want to have. So by process of elimination, they actually discover there is one place she could have gone, and that's deep in she's in Bahrain. Like she's literally hiding in not Bahrain, Bosnia. She's hiding in Bosnia. So Hotel Moscow, with some connections and money spent, they get their way into Bosnia. Meanwhile, Or 47 has also found out where Junko is heading, leading to Agent 47 to also be there in his own stealthy way. Meanwhile, the Hotel Moscow and their crew are just they're trying to find her, trying to find sources within the country. They also discover that, Junko is more than likely here because there was a secret Russian facility made to deploy nuclear weapons. So it's like, Junko has to be here. Like, there's no other way she couldn't be. So they eventually find the area, but what they do find is that some of the members of Fenrir have been, like, outside guards, have been killed. And they're like, someone got here first. You think Marines, SAS, something like that? And they're like, and Bella is like, no, but it is a professional. So they go in quiet, and that's when they get spotted. Fenrir and Hotel Moscow get into a firefight, and meanwhile, 47 is just kind of like sneaking around. He's just like hiding, all of that, and he kills one of the guards, takes their costumes to get into where Junko is, and she's like, I feel like a fucking Bond villain. I'm getting all hot and bothered over this. Don't you think, 47? And 47's like, And she's like, pro tip, the whole bullshit of you putting on a costume doesn't mean I don't know what your fucking face looks like. I know everyone's fucking face. So, sis, can you handle this? So Mukuro and 47 get into a fight. Starts with a fire, them firing at each other. They get in close combat. Meanwhile, Junko's like, I wanted to make this so special. Hey, sis? Yeah, Junko? And she's in the middle of fighting 47. She's like, hey, real quick, I forget, how many missiles did we have already put in the silos already? And she goes, we only had time to load one. Ah, damn. Oh, well. Hey, a quick question. How far do you think these missiles could get to, like, I don't know, the U.S.? And she goes, I think from where we are, I think the trajectory could get you to at least L.A. And he goes, perfect, thanks. Oh, it's so hard to get. I'm glad I'm getting rid of L.A. It's so, the rent there is impossible. So Junko's like madly just locking in all of the weaponry, locking in the location and all that. And yes, I know before anyone goes in the comments, actually those kind of silos wouldn't be able to, or, those kind of missiles wouldn't be able to fire out and reach LA. I'm aware this is a stupid story. Just keep that in mind. We're going by comic book logic here. So while Junko is basically, getting in the coordinates and all that, that's when Bella Laika comes in and actually shoots. She actually shoots Junko in the back, and she's like crumples on the ground, like Well, that was interesting. And who might you be, Fryface? Bella Laika introduces herself, and she's like, you killed comrades. You're going to start World War III, and for what? And she goes, duh, for despair, dumbass. Like, this world's been going on like life support of hope. I need to finally put the dagger in it and bring out the new age of despair. And if you don't want to do that, then, killing me is just going to be just a win-win. And she goes, I can live with killing you. That's going to be my hope. And she goes, oh, well. But, however, during the fight, Mukuro throws a knife, hits Bella Laika in the hand, gets her. Junko then proceeds to tackle Bella Laika, and they end up getting into a fight. And Bella Laika's even, like, shocked of how good of a fighter Junko is. She's like, I'm fucking a former Spetsnaz, and this girl's making me sweat. What the fuck? So the fight eventually, 47 and Bella Laika, like, have to trade adversaries, and then they're like, oh shit, the thing's still counting down. So Bella Laika has to, like, stop everything and stop the controls. And from there, Mukuro gets wounded. And Junko's like, fuck it, I am not letting you ruin my big day. But, however, 47 and Bella Laika just start pumping Junko with bullets to the point where she gets shot out of a window and falls. And Mukuro's just in shock because she just watched her sister die and runs off. Everything seems fine. Fenrir was forced to pull back, or what was left of them, and Hotel Moscow reclaims the area. And that's when Bella Laika looks at her and is like, so you're 47. I've heard about you. Didn't you try to kill me a year or so ago, and 47's like, well, I didn't see you if you didn't see me. Tell your boys no doubt the White House sent you, so tell your boys the White House we did all the work. Don't worry, we'll give you credit and you can still get paid. So 47 takes off, but they're and that's when Bella Lyka hears, Captain, we have a problem, and they're like, what? We can't find her body. And she looks over the thing, and Junko's gone. Like Junko, and she's like, that was a 40-foot drop, and we put at least 20 bullets in her. She can't be. It has to be Mukuro who collected her crazy sister who collected her body. But however, Bella Lyka just chalks it up to a win and just thinks Junko's dead. However, we cut over to a car that is basically just kind of driving along the highways, and it gets stopped by Mukuro, and Junko finds herself in the other seat and is like, hey, are those your kids in the back seat? Uh-huh. Oh, good, they can watch this. It just blows his brains out. Then she kills the kids, and she's like, ugh, do you have any ibuprofen, sis? I have a headache. She's just like coughing blood and all that. It's like, well, there's always next time, sis. There's always next time. Anyway, so there you go, guys. That is the three-way crossover between Hitman, Black Lagoon, and Danganronpa. Hope you all enjoyed this, and yeah, other than that, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.